Hey guys.
Evening, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Looks like we had some technical difficulties to get this started.
I don't know if the line meeting goes long, does that affect you? It must.
Correct, it does.
Oh,
So
does.
I know
So
they
I
were,
could've-
I left it right at 8 o'clock. So they must have went over a couple minutes maybe.
Yep, I'll get after Stilo for that. I'll yell at him.
I just put in the ID number in the password, and that got me too. Unless they just got their meeting done at the same time, I don't know. It could have been.
It just did. Hold on, let me reply to Joel Olson. Try now. Okay. Yeah, so what happens, guys, is we have one account for RAOA and for Zoom. So if if Tim is using it, Tim Stilo is from 7 to 8. We're from 8 to 9. So that little overlap will happen. All right, so we got Rich, got Mike, got Newt, Rob, Dave Nagel. Anybody else gonna join? All right, let's see if I can share my screen appropriately this time, because last time it was a disaster. Hold on a second, please, guys. Hold on. Can you all see my screen?
Nicely done, Tim.
RAOA Summer Training Series, Umpire, July 12th.
It's there.
All right, let's get started. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great, thanks.
Hey, Joel, thanks for joining.
Thanks, Tim.
So, Joel, what happens is we have one account. We have one Zoom account.
Yep.
And the headline or the lines wings, they have their meeting from 7 to 8. If it runs long, then I can't start this until they're done.
Gotcha.
So I'll yell at Tim Stilo later tonight.
Better.
I'll make it by a round for everybody. Okay.
Fair enough.
A round of water, a round of whatever you're drinking. All right, let's get started because we're already late. We're 8:12. All right, so our agendas are welcome. We've already done that. Physical fitness. We're going to talk about the 40-25 second play clock, ball relay after a change of possession. Film review. There should be sorry guys, there should be a space here with a return, with the question of the week, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. All right, so physical fitness. Are you prepared? Guys, this is a difficult subject. We all got to talk about it. And some of us, including myself, we may not be in the best physical shape of our lives. Most of us are in our 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 20s. And we are no longer, let's be honest, we're no longer we're no longer athletes, okay? Even though we need
Hey,
to
Tim,
be
are you
athletes.
talking about 12-ounce curls with the glass?
No.
Is that the kind of fitness you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about, the 12-ounce water curls.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you.
It's okay, Newt. It's okay, Newt. In the old days, the umpire was the biggest, fattest kid on the team, right? Well, let's be honest. Newt now hides his video. Okay, good. That has changed. Or at least it should change. And I just want to talk real briefly about physical fitness and making sure that we're all in shape for this, because every year, let's be honest, every year we go older, we get a year older, and the kids stay the same age. And we need to prepare for that. All right. So let's talk about the day before, the day of, and the day after. What do you do? So I don't work high school football anymore, but for college football, the day before, I'll be honest, I have a light jog. I have a light jog on the treadmill. I'm avoiding the 12-ounce curls, Newt. This is for college now. I mean, this is, obviously we're talking about high school, but I try to avoid the 12-ounce curls. The day of, obviously, we're trying to get a good meal, and we're trying to hydrate as much as we possibly can. And the day after, what I also like to do is go for a walk. And on Sunday, or in this case, if it's college or if it's a high school football game, on Saturdays, I like, you should probably go for a walk, or some of you guys might be working, a youth football game on Saturday, and that's really good as well. But guys, we just need to make sure that we're, after that Friday. Oh, the dog has joined us. On Friday night or Saturday, whenever you're going to work that game, we go work that game. It's a 2.5 hour game, 3 hour game, whatever. And this may sound odd for me to say, but try to avoid those 12-ounce curls that night, even though it's always a good thing, right? But try to avoid those, and just be prepared for the next day. Because here's the thing, and if you can see this line item right here, I don't know if you can see my cursor moving. Perception is everything. So what I mean by that is that if you've got a bunch of fat old guys running around the field, trying to chase a ball down, it doesn't look that good. It really doesn't. So perception truly is everything. Just think about that. These are just things to think about. As umpires, we don't need to be the fat old guy sitting in the middle of the field and just standing there. We need to be physical. We need to be prepared to run if we can, or if we should, and get the spots. Does that make sense, guys? All right. I know this is difficult to talk about because shit, I'm just as fat as the next guy, and it sucks. I'm 51 years old, and it sucks. Training for the season really sucks, but it's something that we all need to do. Which leads me to my next thing is suggestions for the off-season workouts. Jogging, running on the treadmill, running just to get prepared. Now, some of us, myself included, I try not to run too much, because these old knees have to run 10, 11, 12 college games, or however many games, plus a full basketball season, because I think some of y'all work multiple sports. So you don't want to push it too much, because then you're sitting at the doctor's office saying, okay, what can you do to get these knees prepared for me, right? So you really need to, judge that, or at least temper that. So as far as off-season workout, I recommend some running, some jogging, of course, some agility workouts, stretching, things like that. And then working out during the season, most of us work at least one night a week, Friday nights, right? And some of us work, Saturday youth games, and some of us work, maybe a Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday under varsity game. So when do you have time to work out? If you can, just get in a light workout throughout the week. All right. So any comments, suggestions on that? I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, this is something that we need to do. And as far as food and that kind of stuff, well, shit. We all like our cheeseburgers, we all like our pizza, but you know what? When it comes closer to game time, we might want to avoid those things, if that makes sense. Any comments, guys? Yeah, I know. Difficult subject. I get it. Completely get it. Joel, you're going to say, it looks like you're going to say something.
I was going to say, I usually don't really, after lunch, I usually don't eat on Friday nights except for like a banana. Because I will, like at Friday night, when I go to bed, I almost always get some kind of an issue with my legs. Cramps especially. So I hope my banana helps.
Yeah, we all cramp up, and that happens. So again, getting to the cramps, hydrate. especially when the games are in August, September, hydrate. And when we have games in October, and hopefully some of you can work games in November, when it's cold out, still hydrate. You know, when there's a water break, get a drink of water, that is. Okay. Anyway, just wanted to touch on that and make sure you guys are all prepared when and if we have a season. Obviously, we don't know when we'll have a season. We're all preparing for a September start date, but shit, it happens. We may not have one, but still be prepared. Okay. Anything else on that subject, guys? All right, good. Okay, let's talk about the 40-25 umpire play clock mechanics. That was a question. All right, and give me a moment because I'm going to pull up, yes, I'm going to pull up the rule book on the 40-25. Can you all see that? All right. So as we all know, in high school, or at least Minnesota high school mechanics, we now have a 40-25 play clock, which started last season. So let's talk about real quickly when the 25-second play clock starts, okay? So prior to, y'all can read this as much as I can, but we're talking about prior to a try or following a score, start a period of overtimes, following administration of an inadvertent whistle, following a charge timeout, following an official's timeout, following a stoppage of play, continuing on for measurement of a possible first down, you know, and get the sticks out. When a first down is declared, exception, 40-second play clock, following a change of team possession, not a double change. You all know what that means, you know. So if we have a interception followed by a fumble and team A recovers the ball, we're going to go to a 25. Excuse me, 40. All right. So when captains and coaches are notified the time remaining. All right. So y'all can see this, right? So there's a lot of times the play clock will start on 25. And you can see a lot of these times are when the clock is stopped. For the most part, though, we have a 40-second play clock. And we'll move down to that real quick. 40-second play clock. Umpire scary. For the most part, every other time the play clock is going to be at 40. That's where we're at. You know, when the clock stops for, you know, change possession, penalty, things like that, out of bounds, we're going to go to the 25. But for the most part, 40 seconds. Okay. So when do we come in as umpires? And that was the question that was asked. So we looked at the rule book, and guys, you know, just so you all know, we're looking at 3-6, 3-5-10, 3-5-7. I'm not going to spend your time or waste your time exactly going over the rule book, okay? But let's talk about when to put the ball down. Biggest question is, are play clocks visible? For the most part in high school football, most of the games we work, this play clock is not visible. We have a play clock that's run by our infamous back judge, right? For the most part. But there are going to be times when you do have a play clock on the field. What we want to look at is spotting the ball. If you have a play clock, is about the 28 to 32 seconds. When this clock hits, I don't know, can you see my mouse moving? I don't know if you can. Okay, so when that clock hits 28 to 32, that ball probably should be spotted at that point. Again, this is on a 40-second play clock. On a 25-second play clock, spot the ball, get the hell out of there. Don't rush. All right, so if that ball ends, we have a long pass that goes, you know, 35 yards or whatever downfield. Well, maybe at that point you need to rush and get that ball. But if the ball is, you know, let's say it's a 10-yard or an 8-yard play in the middle of the field, we're going to go with a 40-second play clock. We don't need to rush. Slow down. Don't rush. If the play ends near you, so let's say we have a run on second and 7, They run the ball. It comes right to you. And we have a 3rd and 2. The ball is right there. Pick the ball up. Maybe give it a 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, and then spot the ball. We don't want to be in a hurry to spot that ball. Does that make sense, guys? And remember, if we can't get the ball spotted on a 40-second play clock within the when it's under 25, we need to pump that up. Now, if we're constantly pumping the ball up or the clock up, we might want to refer to our ball mechanics and say, you know what, guys, something's going on here. Why are we not spotting that ball, at least getting it to the umpire within that 28 to 32 seconds? That makes sense, guys? So that's where we're at. 28 to 32 is the premium spot that we want to spot that. But in the most part, once you get the ball, once that ball is relayed to you either from the back judge, a line judge, or head linesman, get the ball in a controlled, not slow, but you don't want to be walking the ball, but at least in a normal pace. Now, last year was our first year doing this, and I watched a number of games watching my kid play for JM. It was rarely an issue. In some of the games that I worked as, the referee, some under varsity games, again, it was rarely an issue. Does that help you guys, though? We're looking at the 28 to 32. That's a sweet spot on a 40-second play clock. If the ball lands next to you after a play, take a couple seconds, spot the ball, move back into your position. We're good to go. Make sense?
Give a look to your wings first to make sure you're spotting right, because they could have a spot off too. You always want to look at the wings. That gives you a couple seconds there too.
Agreed. Just look at your headlines, or if you're using crossfield, look at your line judge or wherever the ball is, and say, okay, is this where we're going to spot it? Yeah, we'll spot it here and we'll go. And let's be honest, in high school football, there's not a whole lot of teams that are in hurry up. They want to go, go, go. Right? So just take your time.
Hey, Tim, can you
Now,
I have a question for you, Tim.
yeah, Rich.
Yeah, can you take me through your kind of your routine, I suppose, when you spot the ball? You stay over it until the ready to whistle play, or do you spot it, back up, get in position, or what's kind of your routine that you use?
All right, so I'm going to be completely honest. I have not worked high school football in a couple of years, but in college, I spot the ball and I back out unless there's an offensive substitution where my referee will give the iron cross. Then I'll spot the ball or hover over the ball. I'm going to refer to my high school referee or high school umpires. Are we hovering over the ball until when do we release the ball or hatch the ball in high school football?
Well,
I'm
on a
refer to you guys.
40-second clock, now you're not going to have a whistle.
Right.
So you the referee's not going to give you one. So you're going to spot it, probably make eye contact with your referee and back out. Yeah. Just to make sure you got your 11 count too.
All right, yeah. So
Or
we always
9
want to
if
have
you
our
do a
11
9-man.
count.
And
9.
if it's easier to get the count for your offense while you're standing over the ball rather than back out, especially if you're vertically challenged. Newt,
Rob,
what do you got?
Rob and others, do you guys? I was taught with my first crew to spot the ball, and I'd signal, first down or whatever, both ways, both wings, kind of that eye contact thing, and then kind of move out from there, or second down, whatever it might be. I see Joel shaking his head, yes.
Yep.
Kind of reinforce that communication factor.
Yeah, when we did have a whistle to signal ready for play from the referee, what I would do is I would spot the ball and I would put up second down to both my wings, and I'm trying to do this where y'all can see it. Looks like Richard Nixon right here, but we'll go third down, okay? So we'll go third down, we'll spot the ball, and I'll give my count. Yeah, Rick, I got 11, and I'll back out, right? Yep. And when you back out, make sure you back out. Do not turn around and walk to your 5, 6, 7 yard mark. I was dinged in the last game that I worked in high school. I was dinged by Jason Nickleby because I didn't back out on one play. Of the one play that I didn't back out, I got dinged on it. Back out, and the reason is because you want to make sure that nobody messes with that ball. The ball is the pot of gold, right? Just make sure you have that ball. If the spot is at the 35-yard line, it doesn't move from that 35-yard line. Now, granted, let's be honest. In high school football, most of those centers or whatever, they're not going to mess with the ball and move up to the 36 or 34, depending on. Just keep an eye on that ball. That's it. Does that make sense?
Yep. Thanks.
Rich, does that answer your question?
Yep. Very much. Thank you.
Good. All right. We all know to pump it to the referee will pump it to 25. That's not our responsibility. And honestly, he's only going to pump it or she's only going to pump it when we have a visible play clock. Now, last year, there's only a handful of schools that I went to, and they're mainly Big 9 or bigger schools that had the play clock, but I think that's changing. Anybody else seen a lot of play clocks last year? Visible play clocks on the field?
Fillmore Central had one. And their timer, he got it all screwed up. He'd start the 40 as soon as the play was over.
Give it 1,002, 1,002, or 1,001, 1,002.
He went right away.
Yeah. Did your referee?
Did sometimes
talk to him
at halftime, yeah. And then on the 40 he would actually wait to start the 40 until I put the ball down, I think. And then the 25 he would roll it like faster than he should have. So it was almost backwards of what he should have been doing.
It's a learning curve. It was a learning curve last year.
Last year, Joel, I got bumped to safety after we lost, or safety back judge. Sorry, back judge after we lost our back judge. And being that was all new, what I found handy, I made up a little cheat sheet for the 40-second play clock, the 25, and I laminated them, and then I gave it to our white hat. And then he shared that with his meeting with the operator. And then he actually, early in the season, we gave one to each head coach too, just so we're all on the same page and whatnot. So that seemed helpful, at least year one, try to get everyone on the same page.
And remember, I mean, in high school football, these small towns, you're going to have a play clock operator who's about 95 years old, and he's been running some other job for about 100 years. So let your referee or your back judge or whomever just talk to him about that. But just know where we're at as umpires. Any further comments or discussions on that, guys? All right, let's talk about ball relay after a change of possession or cop. Are you sharp, or are you the guys, the Keystone Cops? Raise the hands. Who knows who the Keystone Cops are? Some people may not know that. We need to look sharp as a crew. This is not just the umpire, but this is the entire crew. Umpire, sometimes a referee, our wings, our back judge especially, we need to look sharp. And I'll tell you what, when observers are looking at a crew, mechanics are key. Mechanics are huge when they're making selections for section tournaments or section playoffs, or more importantly, as we all want, is that state tournament game. They look at ball mechanics is huge. All right. So do we want to look sharp, or do we want to look like the Keystone Cops? Let me tell you what, we don't want to look like the Keystone Cops. We want to make sure that ball is sharp when after a change of possession, especially. So after the play is over, whether it be a scrimmage kick, a free kick, a fumble, or an interception, when the play is over, and I mean really over. What I mean by really over, guys, is that we need to make sure that all of us, all five of us, are paying attention to dead ball. So after a change of possession, what happens on an interception? Some kid is going to line up that quarterback, right? He's going to want to go after that quarterback. That's usually what happens, because he or she is one of the better players on the team. We need to make sure that we slow down after a change of possession and make sure that the ball is really, really dead. After it's dead, then we start looking for, at least as an umpire, I'm going to start looking for the H or the L that will have the new ball. So if it's the line judge, I'm spotting up. My line judge was Tim Benz. I'm going, Tim, and I'm pointing at him. There's my point. I'm pointing at him, Tim, as I'm running down the field. He will underhand the ball to me, right, as this perfectly referee specimen is underhanding the ball. And Rob, you are one of the best underhand throwers I've ever seen. You can underhand that ball 75 yards. I can't even do it 5.
Hey, somebody needs to go on mute. Hold up. Somebody needs to go on mute.
Thanks, Newt. Thanks, Rob. So we're going to underhand that ball. I'm pointing Tim. He's going to get that ball to me. I'm going to pop it down. My back judge, here's the thing. My back judge, as I get to that new spot, my back judge, in this case was Jared Butson, he's going to take that old ball and kick it out to my headlines. He's going to get rid of it. So that's how we did it. I would suggest you work it out with your crew to say, all right, umpire, you're getting the new ball from the respective wing. Back judge is getting the old ball and kicking it off. Is that how you guys do it, or how do you guys do it? Yep, I'm seeing a lot of shaking of the heads, as in yes.
I think you got to make sure the first thing you got to do is you got to make sure you got the new spot, right? That's the key thing.
Of course,
somebody's got to have the current ball in the new spot, spotted down. Whether that's the umpire,
either, depending on what it's going to be. If it's a scrimmage kick, it's going to probably be your back judge, right? He's going to put that, or he or she's going to put that ball down at the the 12, 14, whatever. He's going to pop that ball down. I'm going to run in with the new ball, right, from Tim, or in this case, my line judge. I'm going to grab that ball, pop it down, and Jared's going to take the old ball, kick it out to Z, and that's how we would work it, and that worked really, really slick. And again, go ahead. I'm sorry, Newt.
Yeah, no, I think following up on that is when you do have that return that goes for a ways, that's where the umpire might get there at the same time as, let's say we got a punt and it's returned 25 yards. Now the umpire and back judge are going to get to that spot about the same time, along with the linesman who's probably got that spot. So whoever that person is, has got to get that initial spot down. But I agree with you. The back judge that's a good way to do it, with the back judge taking the existing ball and getting rid of it.
Yep. And when we throw the ball off, if we're going to throw the ball off, because sometimes as umpires we need to do that. Underhand. If you don't know how to throw the ball underhand like me, practice it. Take your kid, or if you don't have kids, take your dog or whatever. Practice throwing the ball underhand. I suck at it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I suck at it. And I get shit every Saturday from my wings. And it is what it is. All right, makes sense, guys? Again, look sharp. Don't be the Keystone Cops where you're fumbling the ball and you're throwing the ball overhand and the ball lands 15 yards that way and you're trying to fumble around to get the ball, and don't mess with that. All right. All right, guys. Any questions or comments on that?
Nope.
All right. Okay. Well, we're going to do some video, and I hope to gosh that I don't screw this up like I did last time, because I did. Let's look at some snap infractions. Now, this is from the CFO, and these are college football officiating training tape that just came out this week. All right, can y'all see that? We're going to talk about snap infractions. Now, what they talk about with false starts, the closer you are to the ball, the more important a false start is. What I mean by that is that if you're a center, a guard, if you false start, that is extremely important to get those. If you are this guy out here as a wing, if he kind of starts his moves a little bit too soon, like a second or not even like a half second, it's okay to we can pass. We don't want to pass on that, but if we miss it, it's not that big of a deal. If we miss our center with a snap infraction, that's a big deal, because everyone's looking at what? the rock, the ball. So I'm going to play this, and this is the first time I've done this. So I hope to gosh you all can hear this video. I don't know if you can. Steve Shaw is the director of college officials for the CFO, and he's going to talk about this. If you can't hear it, I apologize, but let's see what happens.
And it's two examples of.
Can you hear that? Okay. All right, let's watch this then. Let's just watch this play go through.
An illegal snap from our bowl season. And the first play, and it's a big play, we got 4th and 1. And then what you're going to see is the snapper really, he kind of double clutches the ball. And it's a good job shutting this down.
Y'all see that? We have a double clutch. Shut that sucker down immediately. If we have a center that's kind of playing with the ball a little bit and, moving it around a little bit, and he's not really simulating a snap, I'm going to let that go. But as soon as that center puts his hands on the ball and starts that motion of double clutching like this guy does, shut that sucker down. Let's watch this.
By rule that it has to be a quick and continuous motion. So
see that right there? What he's trying to do, we're looking at, if you look at this, he's 4th and 1. This is not something that the center screws up, right? He doesn't say, oh shit, is a snap on 2, is it on 1? No, he's trying to draw that defense offside. Get that foul. Get that foul.
This is a good job. This is very good to get a play like this shut down quickly. We get a good announcement.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. And the rule set here is the same for college or high school. Heck, even on Saturdays at youth football, it's the same rule set. Let's watch this one.
Second play.
You see that? Very subtle. Very subtle.
Subtle move,
but enough.
Really a good job. No question that we don't have a quick and continuous motion here. And again.
So it was subtle. But let me ask this, guys. Would you have flagged that in a high school football game? And be honest. Be honest. Because that's our call. That is our flag, right? And as much as that is, and look at this, a 2nd and 6, is that a big deal? 2nd and 6, whatever. It's enough to draw that defensive offside and create an advantage. And that's what we're looking at is disadvantage, advantage. So I would flag that every single time. Have I missed it? Hell yeah, I've missed it. Have I been burned for it? Yep. So let's just take a look at that one again.
It is very important to get this.
See that right there?
Very important to get this thing shut down.
Did the defense jump? No, but it was enough. It was enough. Because if this was 3rd, where are we at? 2nd and I can't say right now. 2nd and 6. If this was 3rd and 4, big deal. Big deal. Or 3rd and 1, big deal. All right. Any questions on that, guys?
Hey, Tim, on that particular play right there, it may, this is maybe more of a college question for you. The umpire seems farther back on that one. He was 9.5 yards back.
Yeah, I can't speak to that because this is likely an 8-man crew. And I only work 7-man. So if this is the line of scrimmage right here at the, what are we at, the 30, 35, we're at the 38.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be right about here. This is where
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. 8-man crew, he's deep because he has a center judge sitting over here. Newt, I don't work 8-man crew, so I don't know. But if this is a high school, let's talk about high school. I'm sitting, you can see my mouse move. All right, so we have a different lineman here because we have 2 linebackers here. We have this guy that's sneaking up. I'm probably going to be cheating over this side. And the only reason I'm going to cheat over to this side is because if we take a look at this running back right here, strong side is to the right. I'm going to shade over to the left because if that ball comes this way, I want to make sure that I'm out of the way. Does that make sense?
I'm thinking I'd be kind of almost on that yellow line is where I'm thinking I would probably maybe a shade in front of it
So you have this guy right here. I may be 1, maybe 2 yards deeper than that.
All right. Thank you.
But again, this guy looks like maybe a cornerback. Boy, he's really cheating up high. But I'm looking at these two guys because, in my opinion, in this particular play, he kind of looks like a strong safety or
Safety. Maybe he's a safety going to cover the slot guy there.
Yep. But again, in high school, we're not going to see this. We're not going to see this. So in high school, I'm probably going to be right about in here. And you're right. That umpire is really, really deep. In an 8-man crew, I'm sorry, in a 7-man crew like us, or sorry, a five-person crew, excuse me, we're not going to be that deep. We're just not.
Get this
All right,
thing
so-
shut down. So very good job, both.
All right, we're going to move on. Any questions or any further things on that? All right, let's see. Holding Mark Andrews. Let's see if I can pull this up. Give me a moment. And I hope to gosh, I still, oh, crap. Seriously, I don't have that up anymore? Rats. Thought I had that up. Give me a moment.
We need a mute if we can. There's a lot of background noise.
We're going to blame Rob on this.
It's your favorite family tradition to drive.
Hold on. We're going to listen to ads for just a quick second. All right. 9:57.
This was voted 35 to 10 in San Diego.
8:57. So the reason that I'm relying on internet clips is because we just don't have enough in the off season. So that's the reason why we're looking at these. So let's look at this play right here. I'm going to let Mr. Mark Andrews let this play through. And this is a holding call. And I want, we're at 8:46. Okay. I want to see what you guys think of this play. I'm going to let it play through, listen to the commentary, and I want to see what you guys think. All right. And if you've seen this one already, don't give it away. All right, here we go.
Just gonna let it run
Again, this is high school football in California.
and review it. So the question is, does this running back hold?
Tim, can you go full screen?
And is this a foul?
Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Let's back it up just a little bit.
Play. Just gonna let it run. Like I said, feel free to rewind it and review it. So the question is, does this running back hold and hook this defender? And is this a foul?
All right, thoughts? Play it again.
Okay, here we go. Once again, this time we'll show you Steve and my comments, and we'll also show you what the vote was by the referees in St.
Steve, that he's referring to, by the way, is a Pac-10 umpire.
Diego and Orange County. Let's see it one more time.
All right, let's pause right there. Thoughts? Is that a hold?
It's kind of tough to see if he's grabbing a leg there or not, but it looks like he hits him straight up to begin with, then kind of falls off of it.
Let's watch it again.
Does this running back hold and hook this defender? And is this a foul?
Where does the play end? That's what I'm thinking. Was there an advantage?
No advantage.
Play ends here. We're right where the hold is. That's what I'm thinking. That's my opinion. Thoughts from the group?
Yep, I wouldn't have flagged it.
So just to play devil's advocate, what happens now? It's not clear here, but what happens if this is a pass play, turns into a pass play, and this guy right here, okay, it's not clear here because it's not possible. What happens if he holds or creates pass interference against this guy right here? And we passed on this hold. Think about that for just a quick second. We pass on a foul here and let this go. Or vice versa, we pass on this and we throw a foul in it. Just something to think about. Anyway, let's just play this through. Let's see what the experts talk about.
Okay, here we go. Once again, this time we'll show you Steve and my comments, and we'll also show you what the vote was by the referees in San Diego and Orange County. Let's see it one more time.
So that umpire is really deep.
We're talking about these guys right here, right? So they tackled them. Look at that. But we have a sack. So this was voted 35-10 in San Diego
Oops, sorry guys.
and 16-8 in Orange County, that this was not a foul. Obviously, it's a hold, but there's no advantage game. And the result of the play is a sack for a 4-yard loss. If, as a white hat or as an umpire or flank, if we go slow here and we let the play
Funny how they use the word flank for our wings out in California.
play out, we can throw that flag a little bit late, and we can avoid. Do we really want to tack on 10 for what just happened? There was no advantage game.
And let's talk about that real quick. In high school football, cross country, NFHS, a hold on a running play, what is the penalty enforcement? Anybody, please, anybody.
10 yards from the spot.
10 yards from the spot. So we have a sack right here. We have a hold right here. It is, I don't know what the down is, but it's something in 10. We're going to pop that back another 10 yards. Think about that for a quick second. Do we really want to penalize the offensive team for an obvious hold, an additional 10 yards from probably the 48 and pop them back here? That is a huge penalty. Huge. I don't think so. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I would say I would pass. Guys?
Goes down in distance and, spot. Let's say this happens at the 11-yard line. They're going in to score and a game-winning score.
Once again, we have a hold at the spot of the tackle.
Yeah.
If this is a, I don't know, if this is a 2 minutes left to go in the game. I mean, a lot of things come into consideration for this. It's really tough to pass on this, but it's also really easy to pass on this. And getting back to my original conversation, what happens if, I think it's number 80, maybe 80. What if he is held by this guy right here? Lots of things to think about. My opinion is I am passing on this foul. And the reason I'm passing on it is because there's no advantage and I'm holding my flag. Recently, we had a conversation. It's a foul. It's a foul. It's a foul. In this case, it's a foul. Yep. Tackle is made. Yep. Any possession or any advantage? Nope. Not a foul. So I think as the referee that threw that foul or that flag, hold it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
You told me I could only throw on one holding call in a game a couple weeks ago, so I would pass on that one.
Pass on that one. Pass on that one. Make it be there. Make them huge. Holding fouls because in high school they are they're huge. I mean, think about that. That turns into let's just say 2nd and 10. Now we're going to go 2nd and I can't do that math because I'm an umpire, like 23.
23 or 24.
Yeah, is it worth it?
How long, Tim, how long? Like, I always worry that if I throw my flag ridiculously late, then I'm going to get more questions about it.
Coach, would you rather me be right?
No, I know.
Yeah. I had to think about it, Coach. I had to think about it. And you know what? I was a second late, but it was the right call. Okay. And if he wants to argue more, well, you know what? Let your white hat, who's making 10 times more than us, figure that one out.
I think this is an excellent example of a clip because even when you're talking down and distance, say it was 2nd and 11 and there was a hold at the 14. Now it's 3rd and 24?
Forever.
Yeah, which essentially is a drive killer. So even if it's at midfield here, for example, it would be 2nd and 23, 24, which in high school is very probably 15 to 20% success ratio.
Oh,
so
it's a drive killer.
Right. It destroys a drive or momentum,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but in real time, I'm sure that's tough, but that's a really good discussion.
Yep. And in college, I mean, not to bring in college, but this is a previous spot on a running play. This is a previous spot. So we're going to go, granted, it's still a killer, but again, 3rd and, let's just say this was 2nd and 10 from the 45. We're going to go 3rd and 10 in college from the A45. It's a big play, but again, where did the play end? It ended behind the line of scrimmage. Pass. I'm passing. So those are the things to think about. Just think about those things, right? Advantage, disadvantage. All right. Any further discussion on that?
But again, you can see there's quite a few. There's 8.
Oh, they're still talking. Let's see what holding. Yeah, okay. I got some chop block plays from. Oh crap! Shit. 8:57. I got somehow my web browser got closed. I had some chop block plays from my college games last year, and they're not here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. They're not here. And we're almost out of time anyway. But chop blocks, the one that I wanted to show you, the chop block was not called, and there was a question on why it wasn't called. And that was because the offense initiated the initial block on the guard high, and the center, excuse me, let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. The defense initiated the block high on the guard, and the center went low. And I wanted to express how that was not a chop block, because the defense initiated the block. If the offense initiates the block high and low, yes, chop block. If the defense initiates one of the blocks, either high or low, and the offense comes in either high or low, not a chop block. And I wish I had that video, and I do apologize, and that is gone. I'm sorry. All right. It's not there. I'm sorry. Okay. Question of the week. We'll get to this real quick. Question of the week. I'm not going to say who it came from because it doesn't really matter. But if one umpire has a question, chances are good the same question is asked or at least wondered by another umpire. Getting back to the no such thing as a dumb question rule, If you've got a question, probably somebody else does, so ask the question. On a pass play, high school, 5-person mechanics, should the umpire move to the line of scrimmage to rule on an illegal forward pass?
Yes.
Okay, Rob's got a yes.
I would say try to. Yes.
Try to. Newt?
I'm gonna say no. I'm
Okay.
gonna move up, but I'm gonna say no. It's covered by
Okay.
somebody. It's covered by somebody else.
Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in on this one? In a 5-person crew, which most of us work, the answer is yes, with a caveat. With a caveat. Do not rush to the line of scrimmage, because as soon as you rush to the line of scrimmage, that little can I say it? Yeah, that little motherfucker is going to be crossing in front of you or behind you or right to you and going to plow you right over. So the answer is yes, move to the line of scrimmage to help rule an illegal forward pass. But you don't want to move quickly, right? Move with a purpose, and watching that tight end or that running back or whomever is going to be crossing in front of you so you don't hit them. Now, I do know, and I'll be honest, I've taught my youngest child, some of you all know him, Michael, to use the umpire as a pick. I've taught him how to do that. And they do use the umpire as a pick, right? So we don't want to be moving up too quickly and get plowed over. So yes, slowly. So everybody is correct in that one. Newt, you're correct. You do want to move, but you don't want to rush to that line of scrimmage. Because as soon as you do,
just add on that one, Tim. Generally, it's going to be because the quarterback rolled either right or left, and the players are going to take you which way it goes more often than not, and then you can slide up into the spot if you need to. If he's standing back in the pocket the whole time, there's never a need to really move up that quickly at all, because
correct.
there's nothing to rule on except
Correct.
for maybe illegal downfield or something. But
and let's talk about real quick before we have to go, what is, when we're talking about this, we're talking about the quarterback beyond the line of scrimmage. What are we talking about? What is illegal when it comes to a forward pass? The whole body, part of the body has to be across the line of scrimmage. What is the rule? Anybody? In high school, the entire body. Would you agree?
Yep.
Okay. The entire body has to be beyond the line of scrimmage for it to be the legal pass. So it's not like basketball with the over and back. If I've got 1 foot beyond the line of scrimmage, I'm good. I got my entire body plus the ball, I got a foul. And don't nitpick that one. If the coach says, he was beyond the line of scrimmage, he was beyond the line of scrimmage. Coach, I had him. He was fine. All right. That's all I got, guys. 9:03. Thank you. Next meeting, last meeting of the summer is July 19th. I need video. I'm scratching at video to find some stuff. There's not a whole lot of video in the off season. That's why I have to cheat and use YouTube, because I have no plays for my own games. You guys have no plays from your games. I think video probably is good for me. What do y'all think? Is video video and rule knowledge enforcement? You know, how do you enforce those rules, those things? All right, guys. That's all I got. Anything else?
Thanks, Tim.
no.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. It's 9:04.
You too.
Good night.